Okay, sweet. Yes, if anybody has any questions, that'd be awesome because I didn't have much time to prepare this week. I was very sick. And anyway, so I'm just going to do a quick, simple presentation on how to make sauerkraut. It's very simple. All you need is cabbage and salt, and that's it. Super simple. So, okay, there we go. So some equipment that you need. Food scale is not needed, but that's what I use. It makes it easier for when you're weighing out to find out how much salt you need to add for your fermentation. Some jars to put the fermentation in, a knife to cut your cabbage, cutting board, and then a weight to weigh down the cabbage. Okay, cabbage and salt. This is a very simple fermentation. You can add different stuff. The one I've brought for everybody to taste has lemon juice, dill, garlic, and onion in it. It's my wife doesn't like just normal sauerkraut. It's very sour. This she likes a little bit better. Okay. So how do you make it? How it's done. You gather your ingredients, prepare the cabbage. So if you go to the store and you buy cabbage right away, it's nice and fresh. You'll rinse it off and just take off a couple of the outer leaves, and then you can cut it up. If you have a cabbage that you've kept for a while, you're gonna, that's still okay. It's just not gonna have as much water in it. So later in the process, you're gonna need to massage the cabbage a little bit more, but either way it works. You cut the cabbage up. I quarter it, take the core out of the cabbage, and then just dice it up as finely as you'd like it. Weigh your cabbage, and then I didn't put it on the screen there, but I should have. The most important thing is I do weight just so that it's super simple. You weigh your cabbage, and then you want to get 2 to 2.5% of your weight in salt. So if you have 1,000 grams of cabbage, that's 20 to 25 grams of salt. You can go by tablespoons. In America, that's what they do. So a pound of cabbage would be a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons. And you can go by taste too. If you taste it, once you start incorporating the salt into the cabbage and you taste it, if it tastes like salty chip, that's good. If it tastes like salt water, that's too much, and you got to start adding more cabbage. Then you're playing around with things. Yeah, so you cut the cabbage up, slice it up, massage it you put it in a pot, and you massage the salt into it. It could take, like, a nice fresh cabbage is going to take about 15 minutes, so you get a bunch of brine in the bottom. This cabbage I left in my fridge. I had it for like 2 months, and I was like working it for like 45 minutes. The other thing to know, if you have, hopefully you don't have any cuts on your hand. I also, not with this, but I've done it before, and the salt hurts. So just heads up, there's a little danger, and it works. It's really hard, so you gotta have strong muscles in your hands. If your hands are weak, then be careful. Yes, so you massage it. Once you start massaging the cabbage, you'll start noticing water, brine accumulating on the bottom. That's what you need to cover the cabbage at the end. So you'll just know when you have enough brine if you do this a few times. You don't need very much, like just a little bit of brine on the bottom. And then you put it in a mason jar. I like these tall mason jars. I just found this at the dollar store for $1.50, which is not bad, but it says it's a freezer jar, so I wouldn't can it, but perfect for this, because it took me forever. I had to go like 2 different stores to find these tall, wide-mouth jars, so I like finding it.
What's the name on the lid?
Mason.
Oh, that's a mason jar.
It says mason jar.
Yep.
Yeah, so dishwasher safe, but it says on the side here it's for freezing, so just make sure somehow you mark it so you're not going to try to pressure can it, because I don't know if I trust dollar store jars for that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, okay, so you got the cabbage, you're putting it in the jar, push it down with your hand. I get like the back of a wooden spoon and just really pound it in there. That's going to also help get more juice out of it. And then once you've filled it you want to leave about 2 inches of headspace. you gotta wait, because the main thing is you want to keep the cabbage underneath the brine. If it's under the brine, it's fine. That's the saying you want to go by. And this is just same as his for his kefir, same as Shane's. It's just a normal weight. I've seen there's a lot. If you don't have a weight, you don't have to buy them. You can those little jelly jars, mason jars. You can get like one of the cabbage leaves you pulled off. Just you pound the cabbage in there, the shredded cabbage. You put the cabbage leaf on the top so that no little shredded leaf is going to get around it, and then put a jelly jar on top, and then screw the lid on so it's holding it down, and that'll work. Super simple. And then you just screw the lid on. I just use the normal lids, and then you just have to burp it once a day. If you don't, it's going to make a mess. It's going to blow up and whatever. Or you can just put like a cheesecloth and then screw it on top, or a paper towel, whatever you want. I find this a little less messy, and even though I left headspace, it creates more liquid, and so just open it over top of your sink. That's what I do. Okay, my hands are a little wet here. Do I have anything else here? No, going back. That's it. There you go. Enjoy it. Okay. So, oh yes. How long? Thank you. So, how long should you ferment it? I wait 1 week and then try it. If you like it, then you can put it in the fridge, and then you can leave it. Depending, it's the same with all this other fermentation. The presentations we had. It's about temperature and how fast the fermentation goes. So these have been 3 weeks, and this is probably good. I'm going to put it in the fridge after. They get more sour throughout and less crunchy. So yeah, it's based on taste. Anybody else have any questions? Yes.
You mentioned all the additives like lemon juice, dill, garlic, onion. When would you add those?
Okay, so yeah, I just looked it up. I was looking up different recipes. So for that one, I added the lemon juice when I was adding the salt, and lemon juice and garlic when I was adding the salt, and then the dill added right at the end. But just look up a recipe. The problem is like a lot of the recipes are American, so they're just going to be in tablespoons, and so it's not like so much of a science. I really like I have a little kitchen scale, weigh the cabbage, and then I know for sure 2% is 2 or 2.5%. I've done it before where I was just playing it by ear, and it was way too salty. Way too much salt, it's not going to ferment. It's just going to preserve the cabbage. It won't make you sick, but you're not going to really want to eat it. It's going to be super salty. You can maybe add it as an ingredient to something.
What are your favorite add-ins?
So I really just like it plain. So this is actually my first experiment, adding dill in it, and dill, garlic, and lemon juice. I don't really taste the lemon, but the dill tastes really good. So I'd do that again. But usually I just make it plain. And me and my kids love it. Only my wife doesn't love the plain stuff. So yes. Anybody else have any questions? Let me just see. I wrote up a little bit more. Okay.
Maybe somebody has said, but where do you get the weights?
I just got this on Amazon. It was $20 for 4 of them. They got Shane's were like a little knob on them. Mine have a little slat, but they're curved, so you can grab them. But like I said, you can also just use a jelly jar and just push it. A jelly jar in a thing like a cabbage leaf. The main thing is you want to make sure none of the cabbage floats past the weight to get on top, because then mold can grow and it won't work.
We used to make it years ago. We just used stones.
Okay, like outside stones. Yeah, you just wash them. Okay, that'd be cool. Okay, yeah, perfect.
You had a plate, and then you just put the stone on and weighted it down.
Okay, perfect. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I have a big. You can also. This is just. I like doing it this way so that. I like doing it in jars so that you can do small batches, but there are bigger pots called crocks which you can do like 5 gallons at a time. I have one, but I tried to do something and it went bad, and then it really sucks having to throw out 5 gallons and you got to clean it out now. And so I like just doing it this way. It's super easy, and you can try different recipes faster. One other thing I wasn't mentioned, but I was watching a TikTok earlier, so I don't know if it's true or not, but they were saying that these probiotics and the bacteria that's making this possible is on the cabbage. It's called lactobacillus, and they're saying that it actually can break down microplastics, which was pretty cool. I keep hearing about how there's microplastics and everything. Those paper straws we get from the stores, which are awesome now, microplastics. So this will help you, I guess. Okay, if there's no more questions. You got anybody? I bought some store-bought kielbasa and a fork. You can come up here and get some sauerkraut and try it.
Oh.
Now, yes, it's over. I don't really have, like I said.
Smells divine.
Okay. Yes, I'm grabbing some. Okay.